Thank you, and as always, thank you very much to the wonderful Chrissy and organisers, and very much to you as well for being here. I realise it's a sterling effort, listening to quite so many speeches, and at this point, with 10 minutes to go and only a few more, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. As those of you who've seen me before probably know that what we try and do is give a bit of a flavour of the project. So you work very, very hard for your money, and I want to show you how, when you invest in Coda Minerals, we'll do the same for you. So not so many geological slides, but what we do, I just want to give a quick introduction. I mean, there are only so many ways you can explain an exploration and development stage company, but in terms of our project, we're at a post-scoping study phase, so scoping study economics are out in the market. I'll talk to those in more detail shortly, but a very strong project at this point, and we've done an enormous amount to get it there. Moving fast on a PFS. This is not your average West Perth junior. The board have put 17 projects into production over their careers, and the owners team significantly more than that. South Australia doesn't really get much better. We're right in the heart of mining country. And look, the best management team in the world can't change bad commodity markets. We're in rather good ones. Copper and silver, I mean, what a tear it's been over Christmas. Updated price assumptions went out this morning onto the market as well, and it just doesn't get better. As I say, we do things a little bit differently. I had this idea a couple of years ago. If we could put a camera in the corner of the office and you could see the energy and the dedication in this office, you'd all invest. Now, that would be a gross breach of ASX governance, and I suspect some of our wonderful team would disagree. But what we did do was set up a little video room, and we started doing our own podcast. We were the first ASX company ever to do one, and to the best of my knowledge, there's only one other, and I actually film and edit it for them because it's run by a friend of mine. So what we're doing is we're trying to bring you along on the journey. Our shareholders tell us we are one of the most transparent, open, and honest companies out there. And that is reflected every time we do a cap raise. The entitlement offer is always massively oversubscribed. We have huge support from our shareholders, and they feel like they're coming along on the journey, which is so important. Now let's talk corporate quickly. It's been a pretty good ride over the last 6 months. I'm feeling pretty chipper about life. We kind of flatlined for a couple of years while we were doing work in the lab and while we were working on our flow sheet. About 8 cents, 9 cents, all a bit painful. And then the work came good. As our technical guy always says, the only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. The flow sheet was rebased on copper and silver. The share price shot up. We went from 20 to about $65 million market cap. We raised $12 million. And this thing just becomes a virtuous circle. It's phenomenal. I tell you, it's exponentially harder running a 20 mil market cap than it is an 80 mil market cap. I've run both. It is much harder. I have an owner's team. I have grown-ups at the table. I have real skills. I have people who are exceptional at this working with me now. And that's thanks to you, our shareholders, because we got the funding, we got the PFS moving. So let's talk about the project. All this energy isn't much good without good assets. South Australia, right in the heart of mining country. You've got Carrapateena next door, Oakdown West just to the north. Some other great projects, Investigator. You've got Hillside being developed by Slim Group after about a $400 million acquisition. You've got Hillgrove as well. It's a decent area. Mines get built in South Australia. 3 open pits, 1 underground. The open pits are phenomenal. There's about 200,000 tonnes of contained copper in these open pits, MG14, just a few meters below dune sand, Windabout slightly deeper, slightly larger. We're going to be re-optimizing this. Watch this space, because that's a really exciting bit of work. That gives you early revenue while you're building the decline underground, just 400 meters underground to the flagship deposit, Emmy Bluff. That's what gives you the scale. 13-year mine life in Emmy Bluff gives you the scale to afford the capex to justify the processing and all the things you need in a real project that goes for 14, 15 plus years. We've just done a major drilling program. There's about 520,000 tonnes of contained copper in the resource. Even more exciting, 22 moz of silver in there, and it's decent silver and it recovers beautifully. There's accessory cobalt as well. Our previous flow sheet was maybe over-reliant on that. That's the major success we had in August last year that really propelled us to be able to get moving again. You can see here, it's not so easy on here, but the blue holes are the new holes, triple use, so they're going into the lab assays, met test work, mine plan re-optimization, geotechnical, all the things you need for a proper, decent quality PFS. And that work's been done. So that cash figure of 11.5 at the end of the last quarter, that includes a significant amount of the drilling already spent in there. So we've got a lot of money to focus on the PFS. So look, the ore body looks remarkably flat. It's a bit like a coal seam. This was a question asked to me by a sort of a fundie, and I thought, oh, so good, I'll chuck it on a slide. How do you mine that? Now, West Australian audiences are kind of used to seeing these sort of little gold reefs, nice stack loads, all those things. But these are very common globally. First thing I'll say about this is it's kind of surface of the moon stuff. Look at this. Pastoral lease, no native title issues, supportive group, same group as Carapatina, existing mines in the area, great approvals. You can't really ask for a better place to be mining. And as I said, these are really common around the world, just less common in Australia, but we've got the expertise in our mining consultants bringing that international expertise into Coda. So Emi Bluff, I'm just going to run through this quickly because this is just the 10-minute version of the speech. But you've got fairly standard sort of room and pillar style mining, hybrid between a drill and blast and some mechanical cutting with these little chompy machines that work through the ore body there. And we are massively going to a huge piece of re-optimization next. So that's exciting work. Within this, you've got the resource updates ongoing, and then you've got the mine plan re-optimization. 13-year mine life in Emi Bluff, really decent sized deposit there. Now the flow sheet, I've already talked to this a little bit, but the previous problem with the project, and it wasn't a major problem, but the flotation-based paradigm was a copper, cobalt, silver-based flow sheet. The cobalt recovers very well from flotation, but the copper and silver not so much. Now, as a mineral economist, I look at these projects and I say, well, if I was buying it, if I was funding it, what would I want to see? And what I would want to see as a banker is a project fundamentally based on copper and silver with accessory cobalt. Cobalt as cream. Took a while, a bit harder than we thought. We got there. We've done significant amounts of test work on this now. Phenomenal recoveries, simple flow sheet. Some idiot, I think it was me, described it as innovative. It is not actually very innovative. 20% of the world's copper is produced via leaching technologies, and this one is relatively standard. So what we're going to do now in this next phase is go through the big metallurgical test work piece, all of the variability work, and demonstrate just how strong this is. And again, copper and silver, so much room in there in terms of upside as well. So financials, look, I'll draw your attention to the announcement that went out this morning. This is a project where we've really done a lot. That flow sheet work's been phenomenal, but we've done an enormous amount on the mining as well. We've had some exploration success. We've improved the ore body. It has just got better and better. Just to put this in context, that $1.52 billion, 43% post-tax. I hate people using pre-tax. Yes, it's a bigger number. You still have to pay tax. Post-tax NPV is based on $10,500 a ton copper and $60 per ton silver. Silver a couple of weeks ago was $120 a ton. Copper's at $13,100 today. So that spot price rises to over 2.2, nearly $2.3 billion post-tax, 3.3 pre. Phenomenal project. Really strong. You can add higher discount rates. You can play around with it. It works. It's a project worthy of advancement. Put us in context how much work we've done. Without playing around with the commodity figures too much, the first post-tax NPV was just $340 million. We have made this project better and better and better through hard work and good technical know-how. Right, catalysts, you all want catalysts. PFS is ongoing. That's going to be towards the end of the year. In the meantime, there's a significant amount of news flow coming. Assays are in the lab. You've got the drill program has delivered us core to get in there, to do the mineral resource update, to do the flow sheet and metallurgical work, variability, test work, closed circuit testing, all the things that grown-ups want to see as you advance a project. Next phase, as well as this massive mining optimization piece. The last time we optimized the open pits, copper was $7,800 a ton, and silver was $19 an ounce. So you should see some pretty significant improvements there. Hydrogeology drilling starts next month, and ongoing approvals as well. Exciting. One thing I'll say is those who watch the podcast will have seen the episode where we did an analysis of all the companies that presented at RIU Sydney from one year to the next, 92 companies. Go and watch the episode. I'll tell you this, the ones whose share price were driven the most were driven by pre-feasibility studies, done well, and moving the project on towards commercialization. That's what we're doing now. With that, I'll thank you very much for your time.